Tell me who you are. Tell me who you are. And so when I tell people about who I am, I have lots of different versions, and one of them is that I'm a recovering corporate executive on radical sabbatical. And then I follow up with, and I'm happy to be me. Capital M, capital E, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But I wasn't always this way. I wasn't always happy. I wasn't always proud to be me and happy to be me. And in fact, it wasn't very long ago that I was very far from happy. That happy wasn't anywhere near where I was. And I grew up in this very high discipline, very high achieving, high expectation household that was ruled by the very strong fist of my career Marine father. He was not just any old Marine, he was a Mustang. And if you know anything about Marines, a Mustang is one who enlists when they're 18, and rather than going to officer candidate school, they rise up through the ranks from the enlisted man to the officer. In other words, he made it to captain the hard way. And in our household, there were lots of things we didn't do. We absolutely didn't talk back. There were certain faces we made that we got the gruff, you better change that face or I'll smack it off. We were expected to do our best in everything, in every way. And in our household, it was his way or the highway. Now, Dad's way was very interesting. I don't remember there being too many cuddles or quiet talks, and not too much affection. And he was kind of closed off, kind of aloof, unavailable. And his way was also, in the morning, to walk into the bedroom, flip on the light, and in his gruff voice say, "Reveille!" and walk out. That was the alarm. And you better get up. Don't have him come back a second time. His way also was sometimes the belt. And so I learned to work hard and take charge and excel. And I had honors grades and soccer trophies and track and field records, and I was the captain of this and the director of that. And I had Beta Gamma Sigma, graduate from an MBA program, a joint MBA program, awards and honors through my fast track corporate career, and I finally land at the summit. I'm a vice president of a $16 billion corporation, and I'm running this host of brands worth almost $1 billion. I love saying billion. You see how it like rolls through me? Billion. Because I want to make sure you get it, right? Because I want to make sure you see me. Billion is big. So I have all these things and I've arrived at my summit. And who am I? I'm a really accomplished, driven drill sergeant of a leader who tackled everything in her life the way the Marines take a hill or storm a beach. Hard charging, precision in motion. Tough as nails and proud of it. So here I am in my new job, and I'm excited and I'm empowered, and they had invited me, right? They said, please come and be a change agent. And I'm thinking, change agent? Wow, that's cool, because now drill sergeant's gonna be welcome. Da 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 da! Remember Mighty Mouse? I was in the 60s. Here I am to save the day! It's like, I'm Mighty Mouse, okay, this is great. I can bring all my tools and all my tricks, unload my toolkit, and I'm gonna make this place sing. It's gonna reflect me, and they're gonna see me. They're gonna see all my gifts and everything I've worked on and everything I have to offer, and they're gonna reflect back to me my own power. And I was so excited. And I'd worked so hard to climb the corporate ladder. So hard to get where I thought I really, really wanted to be. And not only where I wanted to be, damn it, where I deserved to be. Where I deserved to be, where I had earned my place in the world. And so I was excited. And my fairy tale really quickly evaporated into the greatest nightmare of my life. And all my tips and tricks and tools and all of my oomph and my birthing of the ideas and the dreams and the visions for my team and the energizing and the motivation, none of it worked. None of it worked. And I thought, what the hell is going on here? Where am I? And then the real question came, who the hell am I? You see, through all my grunting and grinding and being the drill sergeant in my own life, I had turned into this just victim cloaked in accomplishments and credentials fueled by fear and anger. A victim. So here I am, a person who has absolutely no tolerance for wounded people. It was the biggest wound in her life. Talk about looking that one in the mirror. And so on about the 459th day of agony, of working 80-hour weeks, of feeling the fear culture, of having people call me on the phone and tell me there was a bullseye on my back, I was not too thrilled with being the change agent anymore. It felt like self-sacrifice. Only it didn't really feel that different. And so I got to choose. I get to choose. And I came back to that question, who am I? What wasn't working wasn't the culture, what wasn't working was me. It wasn't that the stuff I was doing wasn't right, it's what I was not right. I was not in alignment. I was out of truth. Only I had no clue. So I decided, the choice that I made was I was going to pick me. Now the interesting thing in this story is I didn't pick me before they kind of gave me the boot. So I had a little help with picking me. The company packed up and they do this thing to try and make the stock price soar. They do this very official thing. We're consolidating the geographic footprint, which is a really fancy boardroom way of saying we're moving the division into a place that's closer to the other division so we can get rid of the corporate jets and make the stock price go up. So they took the California division and they moved it into the Midwest, and I didn't get an invitation to go. So one of my mentors told me a long time ago, if you are a vice president and you've never been fired, you haven't been pushing the envelope. So I thought, great, I just got fired. Now what? So in that moment of now what, the choice was, how do I choose me? And I realized in that moment, the who am I answer was, I have no real clue. The realization that the self that I thought I was not really self at all. And the self that I wanted to be was not really being revealed to me yet. It was there, but I was just so shrouded in the false beliefs and the fears and the victim mentality and the externals, the money and the credentials and this title and who I could control and who I could run and all the things that were outside of me that had nothing to do with the truth of who I was not aware of the essence. I was not aware of the brilliance. I was not aware of the gorgeous amazingness, the juicy deliciousness of me. So I went on this spiritual journey and lots of different things, lots of different teachers, many different experiences, lots of messages, from meeting deer in the woods to reading a particular book 3 or 4 times to hearing music that just seemed to shift every little cell down to my toes. And then the lights start to go on. It's like, you know how you look through a beautiful piece of lace, and then when it hits light different ways, light shines on you, and it just opens you up, and you just start to rhythmically move like a flower, opening up into the sun. It's amazing, the brilliance. And through this journey, what I discovered was there's so much more than my personality or my identity or my stuffology. Carolyn Mace calls it the stuffology of us. there's so much more. The truth of us, as you've heard from some brilliant teachers today, is that we are magnificent essence, that we are the divine manifesting on this plane, that we are created in the image and likeness, and our personal relationship, the relationship that we have with each other, is not more important than the one and only true relationship that makes you bring forth the divinity that you are, and that's the relationship that you have with yourself. That is you getting to know you, and you understanding you, and you birthing and loving you. Just you. And through the love, that one love of me as divine, me as God manifesting, breath of God in this moment, the love that I have for that me is how I attract every other love there is. Every other love there is. So we can go from being the happy to be me, where me is mighty ego, to happy to be me, where me is magnificent essence. And you've also heard this today, and the quote that I have that sounds like what you were saying, Dr. Stroud, is from a 6th century mystic named Seneca, who says, as long as you live, keep learning how to live. And so at any given moment when you think you've arrived at your summit, put your boots back on, because there's more. There's more to you. There's more to your expression. There's more to your revelation. There's more to your acknowledgement. There's more to your absorption. There's way more. So I'm Valerie Sheppard, and I'm very happy to be me. And so now I ask you again, tell me who you are.